Mike Moore Media.
Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Lydia Craddock. I work with the public school system with the RockATOP Apprenticeship program. I love what I do, and I do what I love. We have come to you and talked many times about our RockATOP program. We are excited. We have nearly 30 individuals that are working as apprentices in our local companies. Sometimes, though, when we come and give you this information, it sounds too good to be true. And we want to make sure that we give you a good picture of the pathway to apprenticeship, how a student can start this pathway and how they can finish through with apprenticeship. It is not difficult, but it is not a walk in the park. We want to make sure that you know what we're expecting of your students, what we're expecting of they may be your grandchildren, your children, your nieces, and your nephews, but they are all stepping up to the plate. Now, before I get into much depth about the program steps itself, I want to make sure that our listeners know that the RockATOP Apprenticeship Program is available for all eligible juniors and seniors in Rockingham County. This is whether you are a public school student, whether you are a private school student, whether you are a homeschool student, a charter student, a virtual student. Eligible 11th and 12th graders in Rockingham County, regardless of the school they attend, are eligible for the RockATOP program. I want to make sure that you know, as we go through this process of talking, how the student goes from initiating an application all the way to the end to becoming an apprentice. I want to make sure that you know how they start the process. RockATOP applications, you can access those at www.rockatop.org. All applications are taken online. They are electronic applications. I work with those. My name is Lydia Craddock. I am with the Rockingham County School System. Miss Jennifer Lester works with those. She is with Rockingham Community College. She is their apprenticeship coordinator and their business liaison to the community. You can contact either one of us if you have difficulty getting an online application completed, but those applications are due by December the 31st of this year. There are absolutely no exceptions to that. Now, I'm excited to say, if you are listening to us in real time, we already have applications coming in. We have applications coming in from private schools. We have applications coming in from our public schools. So we're excited about that. But I want to take you through the entire process that a potential apprentice will go through. First of all, in their school system, they have had some presentations about the apprenticeship program. And as they have heard information about that, they have let us know whether they have any interest in the program at all. If they do have an interest, then we start communicating with them via email and keeping them on target for what their next steps are. Their next step, of course, they do have to complete an application with our website, www.rockatop.org. You go to that website and you click on Apply Now. After that, though, there are several other things that student must do. Transcripts must come in to us, and the student will receive information on transcripts. The students, we expect them to have a 2.5 or above in terms of their GPA because they are going to be doing college work, because apprenticeship is a program that allows them to complete their associate's degree at Rockingham Community College at no cost to them while they are working, but they do have to be able to do college work. If their GPA is not quite 2.5, they can talk with Miss Lester again at the community college. Sometimes there are ways to recoup that GPA or to do some remedial work. So don't let that make a child think that they should not apply at all. But we are looking for a 2.5 or better. Again, these students will have to be doing college work. Now, they must, either before or after they apply, they must attend one of our company open houses. We have had about 13 companies that are involved with apprenticeship at various points in time. Not every company takes an apprentice every year. It looks like we have 6 companies that are taking apprentices this year, and we may have as many as 20 spots. But those 6 companies are all offering open houses so that students and parents can visit with the company ahead of time to see if this is even something they are interested in considering. A student must attend at least one open house with a parent. Now, a student may attend additional open houses, and we had a young man last year. He attended every single open house because he wanted to make sure he had the information to make the decision he needed to make. But our website will be posting those open house dates, and they are beginning as early as next Thursday, November the 11th. But if you'll check with our website later today, www.rockatop.org, you'll find a listing of all of those websites. And also, you may be finding those on Mike Moore Media. He's probably going to put those out for you. Now, that is required. A student must come to an open house with a parent. Now, there's another opportunity that is not required, but if you are listening to us in real time, this opportunity becomes available November the 9th. That is next Tuesday. That is an opportunity at 6 in the evening for parents and students, for parents to come and listen to the ins and outs of apprenticeship, but for parents and students to meet all of our companies at one time that are taking apprentices this year. It's a great opportunity for the parents and community members and parents, guardians, and the student to become more familiar with the companies and also to become more comfortable with this entire process. So again, if you are listening in real time, that is occurring Tuesday, November the 9th at 6 o'clock p.m. It is at the Agricultural Extension Center that is in Wentworth/Reedsville, very close to the community college. Again, I know that Mike Moore Media has that posted, and the chambers are sending out information about that as well. So now we have gotten our apprentice through, they have applied, they have gone to open houses. The next thing that happens, Miss Lester and I take these applications and all of the information from the students, we take it back to our companies that are looking for apprentices. We take their applications, their grade point averages, their transcripts, etc. The companies then go through those and they come back to Miss Lester and I and say, we would like to talk with the following students. Now, we're looking at the potential for 20 positions this time, so we may be looking at as many as 30 students. What happens is those students then get an invitation to an event that's called the Invitational. It will occur in February, and it will be at Rockingham Community College. The students will come in for 4 evenings during 1 week, and during that period of time, they will be meeting the company representatives. They will be learning new material. The companies want to see that they are able to learn hands-on, they're able to follow hands-on instruction. The companies will be looking at them for their communication skills, will be looking at them and how well they work on these small projects together as teams. And then, of course, there is an opportunity to interview with each of the companies. We would strongly encourage a student not to write any company out. Just because you think you want to work with one of them, interview with all of them because they are all so unique and you find wonderful, interesting things. And sometimes students, when they get their second choice instead of their first, they then come back to us and say, wow, I am glad this is where I am. So at the end of those 4 nights, what happens? The students make a list of the companies that they would like to work with in the order that they prefer them. That information is then taken back to the companies who their company leadership, all of the companies, get together, and it's rather like NFL draft. They look at who the student would like to go to work for, but the company also looks at what they need. I mean, in terms of football, do they need a quarterback? Do they need a running back? What do they need? And they look at the attributes of the students and try to make the best match between the student and the company. Then that student, Miss Lester and myself, go back and say to the student, you have been offered a position, a pre-apprenticeship position with such and such a company. If the student chooses to accept that, then in the summer, they will work with their company for approximately 6 weeks. This is a pre-apprenticeship. It's not an apprenticeship. It's before the apprenticeship. They work approximately 3 days a week with the company, and then they go to college 2 days a week, approximately. Those hours even out. The goal is to find out, can the student do college work? It may be things such as a metrology class, a measurement class, a blueprint reading class, or an industrial safety class. It changes depending on what the companies are needing, but they take college classes. They are paid for their time at work and they are also paid for their time in their college classes. At the end of that 6 weeks, now in many of these companies, if there are multiple positions available, during that 6 weeks, the student has the opportunity to work in several different departments. So again, they can see what their options are. But at the end of that 6 weeks, the company and the student sit down together and decide whether this is a good match. Does the student want to continue into a full apprenticeship position? Does the company want to offer a full-time apprenticeship position? It's at that point that a decision is made, and if the company and the pre-apprentice decide to go forward, then in August or September, the student is signed as a full apprentice. And that's a great ceremony. It's like signing with a ball team. Because if you look at the value of the apprenticeship, the work time and the college time and the tuition paid, it's worth approximately $125,000 to that student. Now, this associate's degree that the student will be receiving takes 4 to possibly 5 years because they are going to school part-time while they are working as well. But it is totally paid for. And we have students that we've been doing this about 4 years now in Rockingham County. It has been going on in longer than that in other places. It is tried and true. But we may be graduating our first cohort, some from our first cohort, with their associate's degree this year. And that would, of course, be in August. But my point in giving you all of this information about the process, this apprenticeship program is not a plan B. It is a plan A+, but it is a demanding plan. It is not difficult, but you must stay the course and you must advocate as a student, advocate for yourself and follow through with a number of different things that have to occur before you are chosen. It is a competitive process. It is not a cutthroat process, but our companies this year are looking for approximately 20 apprentices. We have had quite a bit of interest in all of our public schools. We've had quite a bit of interest in our private school. We do have apprentices from the private school setting. We've had interest in our charter schools. We would encourage you, if your student, whether it's a grandchild, whether it's a niece, a nephew, whether it's a child, if you have an interest in this, again, if you're listening in real time, there is a parent information night on November the 9th. That is Tuesday at 6 o'clock. It's at the Agricultural Center in Wentworth/Reedsville. They're very close to Rockingham Community College. Now, my name is Lydia Craddock. I work with the public school system, but if you are in the public school, each of the public high schools has a career development coordinator that can also help with this RockATOP program. If you're in private charter school, then your counselor has the information about this program. If you are homeschool, we want you to call RCC, Rockingham Community College, and ask to speak with Jennifer Lester because she will help with this program. We're excited. We have 30 students, approximately 30 students that are in the apprenticeship program working full-time, phenomenal wages, getting ready to finish that program with a head start on their career. Folks, we'd really encourage you to consider RockATOP Apprenticeship. Don't hesitate to get in touch with us. If you have 9th graders or 10th graders, ask them to also talk with counselors and their CDC so that they can begin the preparation for apprenticeship. It is currently a program for those that have a strong interest in hands-on trade careers. We're excited about seeing our community grow, seeing our workforce grow in participation with RockATOP. Thank you so much for listening to us today. Don't hesitate to contact us at rockatopnc@gmail.com.